Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to Nature Obscura, a podcast where nature and the supernatural collide. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Grace. Each week, we share spooky happenings from the great outdoors, from cryptids to curses, ghosts to witches, and everything in between.
Now, while we love a creepy old lady haunting your basement, that's not what we're here for. We're taking you around the globe to explore where nature and the supernatural intersect.
But before we do that, we're going to get into some exciting things from this past week before diving into some natural history and background, and then to the main story.
So grab your flashlight and some dog treats, because today we're talking about a ghostly dog apparition in South Carolina and the hauntings in the Sumter National Forest.
You know, I love a ghost dog, but when I was young, I watched Animal Planet religiously, and they had the Animal Hauntings or something like that show. And there was this one episode that has stuck with me, and it was about if you see a black dog with red eyes, you will die.
Oh my God.
And it scared me so much as a kid. I was always so scared that I was going to just come across this dog and that I was going to die.
Understandable. I mean, that's intense. As you were saying that, I was thinking of Junie because I've just been walking her at a park and children will just see her and start to cry.
No.
She's just existing. And she just looks back at me like, why are you so scary? Why are you making these children cry? She doesn't realize she looks, that's what I think. That's what I like to think anyway, because it doesn't seem to faze her. But literally, I was walking her on a trail. These kids 15 feet away. Junie's not even looking at them. She's wagging her tail, just enjoying her walk. They see her, start bawling. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Were they young children?
God, what are ages of children? I mean, they were between the ages of 5 and 8. So I feel like old enough.
Oh,
not
Junie,
that young.
She looks like a friendly dog, though. But German Shepherds are intimidating in general. So yeah, you scarred those children.
Mm-hmm. I did.
Something else kind of weird that happened this week is I went into my sunroom, and I have a small sunroom with a concrete floor, and I went in, and the floor was covered in dead ants.
Ew.
Not completely covered, but there were at least 50 bodies on the ground. And I was like, what's that all about? That's really weird. I asked my husband, did you spray something? He's like, no, why would I do that? Because we have a cat and a baby. Why would he be doing that? And so I just swept them all up. And then when I got home from work, there were more. There were more dead bodies. But not only that, there are now dead ants on my front porch. And I don't know what's happening.
The only obvious thing it could be is some sort of poltergeist activity. A la, I think, Amityville.
Yes, exactly. Either that or I was like, are they using these spaces as their graveyard?
Maybe they're like, it's so beautiful here. Let's keep our dead here. That's nice. I mean, your sunroom is heavenly, so
it is nice. But and I was thinking, well, maybe it was a temperature fluctuation thing, but really it hasn't been hot. It hasn't been cold, too cold, really. I was wondering if there was just some epic war that's been going on with the ants around my house, because they're the big ants, the carpenter ants. I'm not sure. It's very odd. And then one day, this has been happening all week. One day there were bodies, and I was like, I'm just going to leave them for now. I have other things I need to do. A few hours later, they were all gone. They must have collected them.
Maybe they're trying to communicate with you. Are they in any signs or formations? You need to start photographing.
Oh my God. They're writing words with the dead bodies, and I just haven't noticed. They're so frustrated.
And it's a lot of work for them to be doing all that too.
Yeah.
That is so strange.
Yeah, that is strange.
I literally have just, as I've been thinking of things to tell you, been screenshotting them. So I'm like, oh, let me remember. But no, I don't see any of them. But anyway, I have 2 creepy work updates. 2 things. One, I was staying late the other night just doing some admin stuff. I was kind of locked in and in the zone. So I was just working. It was only like 9:00 at night, not that late, but I'm like in reception and I could hear the interns talking to each other. Like they sounded like they were downstairs, but I knew the interns weren't there. They had already all left.
Well, oh, wait. Okay, you were alone. Okay, wait.
Yeah, I was
gotta
alone.
reprocess this. Go on.
I was alone and I recognized it and I was like, huh, that sounds like I can hear like the interns talking with each other. Mind you, I didn't have any podcasts playing, no music, none of that. I'm the only one in the center. I just ignore it because again, I'm in the focus zone. I was like, it's probably just, I was hearing things because it's been a long day, whatever. And then I continue and like 5 minutes later, I'm still hearing them talking. It was so weird. So I like closed out of my tabs. I booked it. I'm like, I'm done. I'm not staying any later. I don't know what that was. It was just really weird.
It reminds me of, like, the recording thing, like
Yeah,
the
like the recording, like the
replay.
residual energy type stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. It was strange.
Could it
Again,
have
maybe
been
I
a
just
bird?
definitely not. Like it was weird because it's like this year's group of interns are chatty as heck, which I can appreciate like how like they formed like a real community this year. It's super sweet, but they're chatty and it's like it sounded like there was just like multiple people talking. I was like, so strange. So anywho, there was that, and then update with the ghost cat. Another coworker saw him downstairs, so he was exiting from the enclosure closet and like walking towards like up towards the stairs. So that's at least 3 confirmed sightings of this
They, like,
long
legit said that
black-haired cat.
they
Yeah,
saw a cat.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And it's the same it's the same kind too?
Yeah. With the caveat, they said they do have a black long-haired cat at home, so maybe they were just hallucinating their own cat, but they did wanna bring it to my attention, and I thanked them.
I cannot
But
believe this.
still, it's weird. I'll maybe I should have bugged the interns about it more and see if anyone else has seen anything. Because I don't know if we really told them, but the staff are the ones that have been seeing them. So
I
there's
feel like
that.
it's better that you haven't told them, and if they're, like, coming to you with the stories,
That's true.
just blows my mind. Like, that's a ghost.
For real.
But in other news, just really fast, my baby and I, we took a walk this morning, and we found a baby garter snake. It was so cute. It was under one of the boards that I put out.
It was under the
And
boards.
eventually, it would get a snake, and it
Heck
did.
yeah.
And it was like the little baby was trying to strike at us.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And, like, my baby was watching the snake just with huge eyes. Like, she's like, "What is that thing?"
That was probably their first time seeing a snake, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm
I
so happy
know.
that you got a snake under your boards and how special, a little baby snake.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. You know what else is cool? Sumter National Forest in South Carolina, where we're heading today. Are you ready to get started?
Yeah. Did you know that this forest is over 370,000 acres? Which is just so hard to comprehend. That is huge. It's located in western South Carolina. Sumter National Forest stretches from the Blue Ridge Mountains down through the rolling hills and bottomland hardwood forests of the Piedmont. This broad landscape features a rich botanical gradient that transitions from high elevation, Table Mountain, and pitch pines to cool white pine hemlock coves, before shifting into lower Piedmont stands of loblolly pine, sweet gum, and ancient oaks. Tucked into its deep river gorges and cascading waterfall systems, like those along the famous Chattooga, is a lush understory filled with rare wildflowers. Forest travelers can spot everything from Shoal's spider lily and walking fern to delicate blooms of sweet white trillium, foam flower, green and gold, which is just a flower on its own. It's just called green and gold, and Canada violet. But enough about the plants for now. Let's talk about the wildlife here. The green salamander hides along the rock, scaling vertical cliffs with its specialized suction pad toe pads. And on the forest floor lives the timber rattlesnake, an ambush predator that uses heat-sensing pit organs to track prey in total darkness before returning to communal rock dens each autumn. And yes, I have pictures of everything.
I'm like zooming in. Let me look at these cuties. They're so fun.
Yeah, that snake is really cool. And then the picture on the right is the eastern hellbender. They can grow up to 2 feet in length, which would actually be alarming if you found something like that in the wild, like that was that big. It's actually North America's largest salamander. It's sometimes known as the snot otter, thanks to the thick, slippery layer of mucus that coats its body, which helps to ward off parasites and deters hungry fish. Because who wants to eat snot?
That's a valid point, and I never knew it was called a snot otter. They used to I don't think they're present in Michigan anymore, but they used to have populations in Michigan, but I think they're now, like, extirpated. We do have their smaller, like, cousin, the mud puppy.
Yeah, didn't they have something at the Detroit Zoo?
Mhm. They do
I
have I
remember.
think they have hellbenders at the Detroit Zoo, and they might have some mud puppies too. Belle Isle actually has a whole mud puppy conservation project, and there are biologists doing research on the surviving mud puppy populations off the island. So,
Aw, that's so awesome. And for the hellbender and other species like the mud puppy, their gills are very sensitive to water pollution. The pollution disrupts the delicate skin breathing process. And because of how their gills function, silt and water pollution quickly disrupt the delicate skin breathing process, which means that finding a hellbender in a stream is a direct sign of pristine water quality. Or opposite, if they're gone, extirpated, it's because we have bad water quality. Next, I want to talk about a bird. I'll keep it brief ish. The swallow-tailed kite. Native to Florida and halfway up the east coast of the United States, it's instantly recognizable by its stark black and white feathers and its deeply forked tail. And for some reason, side note, I just really like birds that have forked tails. Like, I love barn swallows.
I know you do, and I've wanted to figure out when I should interject this. Did you hear that a swallowtailed kite was just sighted? There's a swallowtail kite sighting just yesterday in Michigan. Some of our interns went to go see it.
Are you serious?
Mhm. I didn't know if you saw that or not. I
No.
didn't think to s I
I'm
just saw it
so
earlier today. I
behind.
just saw the messages because, dude, they go
Are you
off on Discord.
serious?
Yeah, let me see.
Because the swallow-tailed kite, along with the scissor-tailed flycatcher, those are birds that I dream about.
Have you seen one?
No, I never have, but I want to so bad. Dude, what am I doing this weekend? Do I have plans now? Oh my god, I'm free this weekend. Am I about to go find this bird? I hope it's still here, but also, why is it so far north?
I guess it can be a common vagrant-ish. Yeah,
Oh
here, I'm
my
gonna
god.
send you the link. You're in the, Michigan Birders Discord, right?
Yeah.
They are probably they keep real up to date on that stuff, so they'll
Oh my
probably have
god.
more up to date stuff.
Well, everyone, let me tell you why this bird is so cool. So, the swallow-tailed kite is a master of aerial acrobatics. It can rotate its tail nearly 90 degrees in flight, allowing it to execute razor-sharp turns and hover without even flapping its wings. The kite spends nearly its entire life on the wing, hunting for tree frogs, snakes, and large insects right out of trees, and they even eat them while flying. It even gets water on the wing by skimming low over rivers like the Chattooga. I hope I'm saying that right. To scoop up water in its beak. If you guys don't know what this bird looks like, look it up. It's a swallow-tailed kite. And wish me luck because I'm really hoping I could try to see it this weekend. Thank you for giving me so much joy, Marissa.
You have to go see it. Heck,
Like, my heart's
if you do
racing.
it Sunday morning or Saturday morning, I can meet you out there, we can try and spot it together. I don't work
Let
till
me
the
talk to
afternoon.
James, and I will get back to you on that.
Okay, for sure.
Yes. Okay. But, besides that, this area has so many other cool animals too, like flying squirrels, river otters, black bears, and some cool fish like the southern Appalachian brook trout. This area truly has so much to offer, but now that we know more about the natural history, it's time to take a shallow swim into the actual human history of the area. Sumter National Forest partially sits on ancestral Cherokee territory, a region rich with historic trading routes and river corridors. And the surrounding Piedmont and foothills served as major theaters for guerrilla warfare during the American Revolution. The forest was named in honor of Revolutionary War Brigadier General Thomas Sumter, nicknamed the Fighting Gamecock, which I don't understand. I don't know. Whose militia leaders fought across these battlegrounds. Following severe land degradation and erosion caused by 19th century cotton farming, this region became known as the lands nobody wanted until the federal
God.
I know. Until the federal government stepped in during the Great Depression. Officially created by President Franklin D. Roosevelt on July 13, 1936, through executive proclamation, the National Forest was restored by civilian conservation corps crews who planted pine plantations, built roads, created campgrounds, and established fish hatcheries across the recovering landscape. So whether you're out hiking, herping, fishing, whitewater rafting, or kayaking, or, hear me out, bird watching, this forest is an absolute paradise for anyone who loves the outdoors. So now that we have heard some natural history and human history, let's get into the spooky history.
Sumter National Forest is home to many strange tales, but none stranger than the ghost dog of May Benton. It's one of the state's oldest recorded supernatural occurrences and was first reported in the 1840s. The story goes that a peddler came to the town of May Benton selling tinware, and with him was his large white mastiff, who was a faithful companion in his long and solitary travels. Almost as soon as the peddler appeared, a local was murdered. The peddler was promptly charged and found guilty of the crime. His punishment? Execution by hanging. That's just how it goes in the 1840s. No really trial situation, not long drawn out. This all happened super fast. So while the peddler was jailed and awaiting execution, his loyal mastiff lay just outside waiting for him. The peddler was ultimately hanged, and his dog watched the whole thing, wailing mournfully as his owner passed on. It's honestly sad. I was like, this is depressing. I'm not
Do you
gonna lie,
think?
you guys.
Do you think, if an animal saw that, like the dog, if he actually did see that, do you think he would understand what's happening? Like maybe once
I
he's
don't
dead, he could
know.
smell it.
Probably. I would think he'd know what's happening.
I hate that.
I do think he knew this specific dog because he goes on to seek vengeance.
Oh.
But we'll get to that part. So after this happened, the whole town felt a little hurt and sorry for the dog. And they quite quickly felt immensely guilty too. Because after just a week, the real murderer confessed, and it was revealed the town had hanged an innocent man.
They should feel terrible.
They should. The dog continued howling each night, his owner no longer there, and his cries were echoing throughout the town and making it impossible for the villagers to forget the terrible mistake they made. So they did what any rational person would do. They found the dog a good home. No,
Oh my
they
god.
shot the dog.
Oh my god. You totally switched me.
No, they didn't
I thought you were gonna say they killed the dog. And then you said something different, and then you said the thing I thought. So which one is it?
They killed the dog.
No!
Why in God's name would they do that?
What in the world is wrong with these people?
Crazy.
It's a different time.
Different time.
It's just not an excuse.
No, it's awful. So the villagers, hung an innocent man, killed an innocent dog, but they had a relatively peaceful 3 months. The dog was dead, so he's no longer howling and making them feel all bad about themselves being pieces of shit. So something strange happened. The dog began howling again. The night after the howls began, the hangman was riding along Old State Road when the white mastiff appeared from the fog, chasing the hangman and keeping pace with him on his horse until the road's edge where it disappeared back into the fog. Ever since that fateful night of the ghost dog's first appearance, he has haunted the area for nearly 2 centuries. Within the first decade of the ghost appearing, Dr. James Corfield encountered the ghost dog after returning from visiting a patient on a dark and foggy night. He likes the fog. I do too.
Me
The
too. It's been
doctor
foggy lately. I love it.
I know, it's been really nice. Thankfully, I haven't seen a ghost dog pop out, but
No, I wanna see a ghost dog. Only if he's nice.
yeah. The doctor swore that the dog went under and around his horse's feet and that the dog had actually leaped onto the horse and rode with Dr. Corfield. So I was confused, and they described it as he was sitting on top of the horse with Dr. Corfield. Sometimes he was facing the same direction, sometimes he was the opposite way facing him. I don't know, but I guess he's a ghost and can do whatever he wants and doesn't defy physics or logic. So, I mean, that's fine. The very loyal companion looked a bit different, though, in the afterlife. Instead of being the beautiful, fluffy, white mastiff he was known to be, the doctor described his eyes burned like fire coals, and his mouth muzzle was described as a hideous grin. The terrifying encounter concluded when the lights of the doctor's house appeared through through the fog, and the dog vanished.
Wait, what color is this dog? Okay, I was about to say, if you're about to say he's a black dog with red eyes, I'm dead.
No. He's a white dog with red eyes.
Okay.
So, after several more encounters with the dog throughout the 1800s, the dog's hideous grin granted him the name Happy Dog, which is what he is known for still to this day, which I think is just such a slap in the face because you literally killed his owners and then he was grieving and then you killed him and now he's got a messed up face probably from how you shot him and you're saying he's happy? Like that's how you're going to call his ghost?
Oh, so disrespectful.
It's not great. So, in the 20th century, one encounter with Happy Dog left a man injured. Walking home one night, Happy Dog came around the fog and chased the man, biting his neck during the chase. The man made an escape and he ran to a nearby house, his clothes bloody and torn. The neighbors got him help and recalled hearing terrible howls in the distance from which the man came. The ghost dog has adjusted to the times well and has been revealed to keep up with the chase of a car, too. Almost as well as he had horses nearly 2 centuries ago. So he's just running along. First, he was keeping up with the horses, which is crazy, and now he's keeping up with cars.
Wow.
And one recent sighting, the happy dog, actually, I don't even want to call him that, the sad dog that deserved better, chased a Toyota truck just after midnight when he eventually was able to jump onto the truck's hood and face the driver through the windshield. When he did so, she described his red eyes spinning like pinwheels with a horrid smile across his face. Could you imagine driving in the night? A ghost dog jumps and you're just... That's scary.
My brain, immediately just, the cartoon, kind of spinning of the eyes. Like, what?
That's insane.
That'd be so alarming.
The happy dog does go by other names and has other tales, including how the ghost dog came to be. Outside of Happy Dog, the ghost is commonly referred to the Hound of Goshen. And in these retellings, the dog and his owner were mobbed after his owner was accused of stealing. The traveler, though, was quickly hung, and the dog was said to have starved to death after waiting by his owner's grave. In both cases, the dog returns to avenge his owner for being killed over something he did not do.
Yeah, that's really sad.
You can find the dog along the isolated 5-mile section of Old Buncombe Road as it runs through some of the densest parts of the Sumter National Forest. Outside of the not so happy, actually very sad, ghost dog, campers and locals to the area have had some unexplainable encounters within the Sumter National Forest. Visitors to the area frequently describe hearing a variety of strange sounds, from odd screams, repeated knocks, to heavy footsteps near campsites and hunting blinds. One recurring encounter is that of 3 distinct knocks being heard along the trees, which apparently is a very common report in Bigfoot lore. Wood knocking, most often occurring in sets of 3, is believed to be a communication method among Bigfoots where they can track each other, establish territories, and coordinate movements. Bigfoot Morse code, I guess. I just remembered, this feels like a dream. Do you remember when we used to write each other letters in Morse code?
It's crazy that you said that because I was just telling people at work about that. just on last Friday or something. Because my manager or my old manager, we're colleagues now, but he's like, I've never gone to the post office. I'm like, you never bought stamps? He's like, no, why would I do that? I'm like, you don't send letters?
How old is this man? How has he never been?
He's 5 years older than me. And he's never sent a letter. And I was like, yeah, I have several pen pals. And I did say, I was like, my best friend and I used to write letters quite often, and we would always use old-timey language.
Yeah.
So fun. But also I'd love to reread those.
Me too. They're probably somewhere in my library room. I have to find them.
I have mine right here, actually.
Stop.
Yeah. No, they're right here. I could look at them right now if I wanted to.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So all right. Grace and I, similarly to Bigfoot, can communicate in Morse code. Interesting to me, side note, that it was 3 knocks because 3 knocks is often associated with the demon or devil or whatever. I wonder why it's 3. It seems like such a common thing. Do you know of any woodpeckers that commonly knock in 3s? I'm sure there's some that that's their pecking pattern.
Maybe a flicker or something.
I guess pileated woodpeckers are known for its rhythmic 3-beat drumming pattern, which is a key part of its territorial and courtship display.
What if it's always just a pileated?
I mean, has anyone ever seen a pileated woodpecker and a Bigfoot at the same time?
Exactly. I don't even know what a pileated range is.
Me either. I feel like it could be out that way.
Okay, so it looks like it's mostly all east of the Mississippi, and then it goes north into Canada, and then down into Washington and California. So I guess where all the forests are, so that makes sense.
Oh yeah, so it's totally okay, so we might have solved that, but maybe not, because I don't think the tale I'm about to tell you could have been done by a pileated woodpecker. Kind of jumping back into this 3 knocks situation. Those seeking to find or communicate with the famous cryptid, Bigfoot, not pileated woodpeckers, but maybe, I don't know, will often knock on wood 3 times to try and communicate or get a response from a nearby Bigfoot. I never heard of this.
I've heard of clapping.
Oh.
Yeah, I've heard clapping can be a sign Bigfoot is near, or you clap and you wait for a response. I did it one time when I was hiking, and I immediately regretted it because I was like, I do not want to hear anything back. I'm alone in the woods right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that just reminded me. Okay, speaking of alone in the woods, speaking of how just last week, I'm sorry, another side tangent, we were talking about how birders would be most likely to be murdered.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Creep movies? Okay.
They're called Creep?
They're called Creep. They're
No.
really creepy. About a guy that kills people. And he has them record him. It's found footage type of situation. Well, I just got a free trial for Shudder because I'm in that stage of my life. And because I heard about the Creep Tapes, which is a TV show with the same actor, and each episode is him murdering someone else, and I guess it's good. Grace, I kid you not, the second episode, he trapped a birder. He trapped and killed a birder. And you want to know how? He lured him out because he said that there was an American Abbaset in this area, and the guy went looking for him.
I would have fallen for it. I would have fallen for it so
I
fast.
was like, Grace needs to watch this and study this so it does not happen to her.
Oh my God. Because one of my favorite things while out bird watching is to talk to people. And I could, oh my God, I could be murdered so fast.
And he's so creepy. I mean, it's called Creep, but I'm just literally the whole time I'm watching it, I was just thinking, how would Grace be reacting with this guy?
I'd go along with it. I know it for a fact. Because I don't like being mean. And so if someone's like, oh, you like birds? Let's go find this other bird. I'd be like, yeah.
You would, okay, so then yes, he would have.
I probably would.
Oh, okay. I mean, he did at
think I
least
need
get
to
to see the
rethink
American Avocet. For some
a lot of
reason, the bird
things.
was actually there. I
Oh, wait,
will
so
say,
it was? They did get to see it before they died?
yeah.
Okay, see? It was a lifer. Literally.
And yes. Literally, it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll have to watch the episode. Maybe I can give you my login. I don't know how it works.
I would
But
love
yeah,
to watch that.
it was crazy. But diving back in, um, opinions differ on the true case of the wood knocking. So some think it could be hoaxes, falling wood, or animals like beavers or, like we mentioned, woodpeckers. However, when it comes to the Sumter National Forest encounters with the wood knocking, there are several eyewitness encounters of unexplainable creatures following. One particularly astonishing encounter was the sighting of not one, but two Bigfoot or Sasquatch that were spotted by a witness. As told on Bigfoot Theory podcast, a Clinton, South Carolina native recounted the events. For years leading up to the incident, Travis's family, the witness, had experienced unusual activity for years, including unexplained vocalizations and disturbances, as well as freakishly large footprints. One evening, Travis heard an intense commotion coming from within the forest that sounded unlike a typical wildlife scuffle. The sounds included crashing from trees and lumber, branches snapping, and deep, horrifying roars and growls. It was believed to be two separate animals due to the sounds coming from separate areas and at alternating times, so kind of like a call and response sort of situation. In the aftermath, once it was finally he felt safe to leave and survey the area, Travis went in the backyard and found something astonishing. He discovered large footprints, broken vegetation, and trees along the edge with signs of disturbance. While in theory, this could have possibly been black bears or similar fighting over territory or mates, causing a large ruckus, the idea of a Bigfoot fight is much more intriguing. So, to close, Sumter National Forest has it all. Bigfoot that knock, pileated woodpeckers, definitely, ghost dogs, and some really cool wildlife.
It's true. That's awesome. I feel like Bigfoot is found just everywhere.
He
Everywhere pileated
is.
woodpeckers are, I guess.
Right. So I guess what we need to do is cross-reference everywhere that we've said Bigfoot is.
Yeah.
Is there a pileated woodpecker? And I will say that is a thing where it's if I'm looking for a story somewhere, it's like, oh, I need more. Let me see like what else supernatural is occurring. It's always Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes an alien, like I did see a few UFO reports kind of scattered throughout this area, but just like your standard saucer, beam of light, it hovered and then it left situation over the
Mm-hmm.
years.
I mean, it makes sense why they would want to go there. It's so beautiful, has a lot of wildlife. They're just probably, checking the native flora and fauna for things. They have to go everywhere.
Well, exactly. They're trying to catch the swallow-tailed kite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even they have lifers,
That's so true. Even cryptids have lifers. Even monsters have lifers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. One thing about the happy/really sad dog is the one where the guy was attacked, like the dog bit his neck and shredded his clothes. How do we know it's a ghost dog and not a real dog?
We don't. And that is something that some naysayers brought up. They thought maybe it wasn't even a dog, but like barbed wire fence, something like that,
It
where
was
he
just
injured
dark.
himself and was embarrassed. Like, yeah, it's super dark. It's a dark country road. It's foggy. You could scare yourself. Sure. Like, it's okay. You don't have to make up the ghost dog. It's all
Right.
right.
It's all
And to
right.
be
Just
fair, I would
go.
have done the same thing. I mean, I don't know if I'd have been like, oh, it's a dog. But you could get yourself worked up. Sure.
Let's do the scare scale. How scared are you if you're in a truck and there's a dog that just jumps on your hood and has the spin wheel eyes and it's looking at you? The scare scale is 1 is totally forgettable. You see the spin wheel eyes, you're like, I've seen crazy or whatever. 5 is a perfect spooky tale that you can laugh at with your friends. Be like, whoa, that dog was crazy. 10, absolute life-changing, never sleeping again kind of horror. Because when you close your eyes all you see are those spinning eyes of that dog.
I don't know if this is crazy, but I think this is gonna be my highest rated scare scale that we've done because the idea of driving at night in the fog and a demon dog with red spinny eyes jumps I just it's the driving aspect in of itself, like, you're gonna crash, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nine and
And
a
we're like,
half.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna sound crazy. I was thinking like maybe a 7.5 because
Okay.
while that is insane, and like it's the spinning eyes that would really get me. You know what? Never mind. I take it back. I'd be really scared. But I think later on, it would be like a fun story to tell people. Like, I don't think it would scar me for life.
No, in the moment, it'd be terrifying, but you know I'm gonna go back in the next
Mhm.
morning and try and, like, bring it some
Yeah.
dog treats and tame them.
I think I'd give it an 8. Yeah. Solid 8.
That makes sense. But yeah, let me live trap this guy, get his eyes checked out,
Yeah, like, is
try
he
and get
okay?
him yeah.
Does he need eye drops?
He just needs love.
Just needs some love. Poor guy. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Nature Obscura. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where we post photos of things that we talked about in our episode. And if you've encountered a scary ghost dog or have any story or episode suggestions, be sure to send us an email at natureobscurapod@gmail.com.
And also, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating. It would help our podcast a lot, and it would show us that you're enjoying it. Stay obscure, Earthlings.
Transmission ending.